Hello, thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I am your host Julian, and got a double header review today. Oh, hello Tipsy. I'm going to be reviewing Johnnie Walker Double Black and Black Bottle. Now these have a couple of things in common. First of all, they both have the word black in their title. Second, they are both blended whiskeys, and I haven't reviewed blended whiskeys before. That simply means that in addition to the malt whiskey, there is grain whiskey mixed in. They are also both, as far as blended whiskeys go, rather peaty. Johnnie Walker Black tends to be reasonably peaty, and Double Black should be a little bit more so. And Black Bottle is made from every distillery on Islay, at least it was before Kilbeggan came into existence. Now I think it misses that one. So, let's see what we get here, shall we? Caramel. Woodsy, foresty, get some pine, summer pine, like after a rainstorm, muddy ground. Sweet too, that caramel, perhaps creme brulee. Alright, let's see what we taste. Strong taste. They've apparently used, to make this, some of the standard whiskeys that go into Johnnie Walker Black, although with more of the double matured, so the whiskeys that have been given extra maturations in wine casks, so you get more of a winey finish in this than you do in regular Johnnie Walker Black. I've also used heavily charred barrels. Now, that gives it a deeper, sort of funkier taste that's almost bourbony. This is unusual Scotch in that regard. Yeah, almost bourbony. Certainly a far more interesting whiskey than regular Johnnie Walker Black, which is pretty plain, pretty much vanilla as far as Scotch goes. And the taste lasts, I would give it a medium amount of time. It does not gain and grow in complexity like a good malt. Oops. So again, pleasant enough, more interesting, but no replacement for the dearly departed Johnnie Walker Green. Alright, moving right along. Black Bottle. Well, that's not what I expected. Considering this is made out of Islay whiskeys entirely, you're expecting a peat monster. At least I was, and no, this does not smell like a peat monster, not at all. In fact, I smell two things here. One, lemon cake, and the other, a much mellower fruit flavor, like melon. Honeydew melon, I should say. Very interesting smell. Not a lot of smoke. Now here, if this was bourbony in taste, this couldn't be farther from that. This is exactly what you want in Scotch if you don't want something bourbony. It's very light. It's still not particularly smoky. Yes, you can taste the peat in there, but it's not overpowering. This is a fruity Scotch. And one that is very high in drinkability. Although also not extremely complicated. Simple. You get one taste here to deal with. It doesn't change and grow. I do like the way this Scotch wants to keep coming back to the mouth. Now, one way I gauge a Scotch's drinkability is by having a larger sip than I would usually have, or a larger sip even than that, a larger sip than that, and seeing at what point the Scotch will give me whiskey face. And this Scotch is very good in that regard. You can have it, or bad in that regard, as the case may be, but you can pour it a glass and drink it down pretty darn quick without feeling much in the way of throat resistance. Now, why would you feel throat resistance? Drinking alcohol at high strength is a somewhat unnatural thing for the body to do, and if there are tastes in there that are not exactly what they should be, they can almost produce a sort of a gag reflex if you try to drink a lot at a time. That's a really pure, really great Scotch will allow you to drink it very quickly. Now, it's unfortunate in some ways because the best Scotches are the ones you want to take your time with and savor. But they, if a really good Scotch, shouldn't want you to do that. It should want you to drink it right away. At least that's how it should feel. Well, I think I poured about the same amount of these, and you can see at the end of my review, though I'll say this is more complex, with much deeper taste in it, this is the one that simply demands to be polished off. This one, small sips are best. Yeah, try to drink this one fast and you're going to run into some resistance. Because it has both peat and wine, this sort of reminds me of Highland Park. It's not, it's in the same basic flavor profile. Although, drink it side to side with a Highland Park, and a Highland Park 12 will really kick its ass. And I have done that, and it's unfortunate that this costs what it does. This is a $50 Scotch, or nearly so here in Virginia. And this one is a $25 Scotch, so really a much better value. Give them ratings, let's see. I give them both 7.4 because this one for its complexity and this one for its drinkability. Alrighty, now, moving on, talking about the future. Where are we going here, you ask? Well, I'm going to New York, and I'm going to Whiskyfest in New York, where I intend to broaden my Scotch experience dramatically in a single night. A week from today, I shall be a far more experienced Scotch drinker than I am now. Now, I have 87 whiskeys on my dance card here, and I may or may not get to all of them. That sounds like an awful lot, but they're serving 1/4 ounce samples. So that's really an eighth of a good drink in each case. Over the course of 4 hours, I could do that without falling down, I'm pretty sure. But I thought I would let you know what my top 10 are, and if I don't get to at least these 10, I'm going to be very, very sad. These are the ones I'm most looking forward to trying, and the ones I'm going to try to take a few notes on. I will record myself there drinking them and giving you my impressions if they let me, but I'm not sure that they will. In fact, I'm rather thinking that they probably won't. Number 10, anyway, is Ardbeg Uigeadail, and I've been talking about Ardbeg Uigeadail for a while now because I've wanted to drink it for a while now. It is both a peat monster and a sherry monster. It is the thing I need to fill in that last square on my on my flavor map. Plus, people say it's just a really interesting whiskey. Number 9 is Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Why drink that at Whiskyfest when it's available just about everywhere else? Well, because I am curious to taste it. I want to know what it tastes like so I can have my own opinion. But I've never been willing to shell out the money even for a dram of it at a bar because those I trust have made it clear that it's not that good. But anyway, I'll know that myself after that. Number 8 is going to be Jameson's Rarest Vintage Reserve, and I'm really looking forward to trying this because even though I think plain Jameson's is really not all that special, it can even be a little nasty at times. The quality of Jameson's, really everything from Middleton, just seems to ramp up very sharply as you get up into their better stuff. The 18-year-old Jameson's is fantastic, and people have said that this Jameson's Rarest Vintage Reserve is just so good. So I want to know for myself. Number 7 is the Yamazaki 18. I love the Yamazaki 12. I think it's just a great expression and really well put together. Yamazaki 18 is obviously not only older, but it is got more of a sherry influence, and I'm really interested in tasting that. But it's just another one I haven't been able to shell out the money for yet here. And number 6, Springbank 15. Now I'm looking forward to getting a taste of anything from Springbank, but Springbank 15 is, I hear, the one I really want to try. Again, same reason, sherry influence, and people say it's just fantastic, so really looking forward to that. Number 5, Glenfarclas 40-year-old. First of all, it's 40 years old, and second, it's from Glenfarclas, a distillery. Sadly, I have not tried anything from Glenfarclas yet. Although, boy, at Whiskyfest, Glenfarclas really stepped up. They're offering 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 17-year-old, 21-year-old, 25-year-old, 40-year-old, 105 cask strength, and selected family casks. Well, I'll be spending some time at Glenfarclas's table, I promise you that. Number 4, Virginia Highland Malt Whiskey. This is a whiskey, the newest release from a company that used to be Eads, which is today just called Virginia Distillery Company, down the road from me, about 20 miles in Nelson County. And thanks to the increasingly absurd, draconian interference from Virginia's alcoholic beverage control, I have to go to New York to drink this. I can't drink it in Virginia. I mean, I think that's just preposterous. Obviously, that's not the way for a state to allow its homegrown industries to flourish. Okay, and so really, one hand is not only not knowing what the other hand is doing here, but one hand is stabbing the other, and it's just ridiculous. All right, but anyway, this whiskey was a blended malt that they imported from Scotland, at which point it was a Scotch, but then they gave it an extra maturation in Virginia port-style wine casks, which mean once it was matured in anywhere other than Scotland, it ceased to be a Scotch. So now it's simply a Virginia malt whiskey, and I'm really looking forward to trying it. Number 3 is Highland Park 30-year-old. The reason Highland Park is a distillery I trust very well, because I think that everything I've had from them has been so well put together. And the 30-year-old really sounds like it's a great one. Number 2, Samaroli Tom and Till 1967. Now, a couple months ago I never heard of Samaroli bottlings. Now I am intrigued by just about everything I hear about them. I will probably be at the Samaroli. Oh my goodness, what happened? Right. I'll probably be at the Samaroli table until I'm asked to move on. And the Tom and Till 1967 is first of all, it's 44 years old, and everyone says it's simply magnificent. This is one, hear the words best ever spoken of quite a bit, so we'll see. And number 1, Balvenie Tun 1401, simply because I just, same as with Highland Park, I know that something really special from Balvenie is going to be great, because what's regular from Balvenie is already pretty damn good. And for Ton 1401 is a mix of things from several different decades, going back some 40 years old, some 30 years old, some 20 years old. It really sounds like it's going to be fantastic. So anyway, that's it. I will hopefully be able to bring you something from Whiskyfest, and if not, I'll let you know how it went afterwards. Until next time, this is Mr. Julian signing off.